what Russell is trying to introduce is a law which basically says he can detain you, send all your records to Homeland Security. If he transport you to ICE or anything, it don't matter if you're American or not, you're getting transported on the reasonable suspicion. Trust me, it will be on the news or somebody gets arrested that is an American citizen and they use this law to do it.
Good evening, Arizona. I'm Patty Kirkpatrick. The controversial illegal immigration bill isn't even law yet. But one Valley couple says that didn't matter. The man claims he was targeted and forced to provide his birth certificate. Here's Kirsten Joyce with the story. Kirsten?
Good evening, Patty. The husband is a commercial truck driver. He was pulled over this morning, as he says, at Val Vista and the 202 at a weight scale check stop. He was then asked to show his documents. He handed over his commercial vehicle's driver's license and provided a social security number. But apparently, according to him, that wasn't enough.
And then he came back and he said, well, I need your birth certificate. And then I said, it's in my house.
And that's when Abden says officers handcuffed him, placing him in a van, transporting him here to the Immigration and Customs Enforcement building in Phoenix off Central Avenue. His wife Jackie says she was contacted and told to retrieve Abden's birth certificate. She asked the agent why her husband had been detained and was told,
because he didn't answer the questions correctly. He stated that, his mother is in Mexico currently. That's where she lives. And I asked him, is it a crime for his mother to be in Mexico? And he said that it's not, but he just thought it would be suspicious. But he just thought it would be suspicious.
She left work, drove an hour back to Maricopa, where she retrieved his and her documents just in case, showing us Abden was born in Fresno, California. Relieved to be out of that building, the two of them still remain baffled at the encounter.
I don't think it's correct if I have to take my birth certificate with me all the times. I don't think that that's correct.
So when we were in Nazi Germany back in that day, and the police, hold on, let me finish. Let me finish.
No, let's talk about the bill.
When they were doing the when the
guard,
but yeah, we are. When the guards were
under Obama, maybe.
I beg to differ. Was it okay for those Nazi guards to ask people for their papers? Was it okay for them because it was under some kind of statute? Because that was about immigration too.
1070 does not have police officers stop people and ask them for their papers.
Yeah, it does. It says right here.
Not.
Hold this camera. Let me show you. Not studying any other law. Let's see. Here we go. Law enforcement officer without a warrant may arrest any person, period, if the officer has probable cause to believe that a person committed any public offense. Now hold on. What's a public offense?
That's the law now.
No, you have to be committing a crime to ask for ID.
A public offense is a crime.
But right now, in order to ask for ID, you have to be committing a crime, either suspicion that somebody committed a crime, or is about to commit a crime, or has committed a crime.
That used to be the law until the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court said that if you're stopping someone, you don't even have to have reasonable suspicion. That's what I'm talking about, in the street, not a car. I'm talking about the street, the Supreme Court, and I disagree with their assessment with that. The Supreme Court said that a police officer can stop a person that's walking on the street and ask them for ID without any probable cause or reasonable suspicion. They can just stop them and ask them, and I disagree with that ruling. But that is the law according to the Supreme Court.
What's a public offense? What is it? Because it's not defined anywhere in the bill.
Well, you're correct that that's not defined in the bill. But you have to have probable cause for an arrest. Regardless of what that is, you cannot arrest on something that's not a crime.
Really? Because here it says, under reasonable suspicion that somebody's illegal, they can be detained and arrested and taken downtown and identified.
Okay. So far, you've showed me things in the bill, and I've refuted them.
How about sharing information with Homeland Security?
Yeah, do you like giving your information to...
Show me in the bill and I'll comment on it. Show me in the bill and I'll comment on it, because a lot of what you've told me is inaccurate.
That's your perception.
No, it's your interpretation.
It says, except as provided by federal law officials and agency, blah, blah, blah. may not be prohibited in any way, restricted from sending, receiving, maintaining the information related to the immigration status of anybody. Don't say it's just for illegals. And with the federal government. So it's going to send this stuff to Homeland Security.
So whose immigration status would we care about if they're not illegal?
Here's what's going to happen. It's good.
How do you know if they're illegal until you run their
ID?
Okay. This doesn't talk about running their ID.
So if you got an American citizen walking down the street and they're pulled over by the police and they say, "Give me your papers, I don't have my papers," now what?
They arrest you, take you downtown, and identify you.
No. Send you to Homeland Security.
Or you give them your truthful name. The thing is,
show me in this bill where it says, if you don't show your papers, you get arrested. That's Nazi Germany. This is not.
Right here.
Show me in there where you get arrested for not showing your papers.
If they cannot be identified, it says you may arrest them. Read the bill.
I did read the bill.
Okay, I'm on the street.
You're on the street.
And then police pulls me over. I don't have ID on me. He says, "Show me your ID." I don't have it. Now what? Does he arrest me? Does he take me to Homeland Security? What does he do?
Under the current law, according to the federal Supreme Court, this bill is not law yet. Currently, he can arrest you for failure to ID.
You can actually, if you're not committing a crime, you don't have to give them ID, but you have to give them a truthful name.
Yes, and I think the Supreme Court, and that's a good point, Shelton, the Supreme Court said you have to identify yourself. Okay. And so I don't think you have to show ID. So we go back to the papers argument.
Now, when you
do you have your papers? No, I don't. As long as I say my name is Chuck Gray and I'm being truthful, then I don't have to have my papers.
You don't need to, because the papers are on a database at Homeland Security. Don't you get it? Well, you got your papers with you? I need to see your ID, sir. Can you give me your ID right now? I want to make sure you're an American citizen. Come on, man. I'm not kidding. We're using this law right now. We're going to enforce it right now. Did you pass the House bill?
Black helicopter
pass the House bill?
There.
Yeah, sure. You're the conspiracy theorist.
You guys are the nut jobs.
I'm the nut job. I'm the nut job. You send your information. You love Tana Napolitano because all your information is going straight to Homeland Security. Right. Every time you get pulled over, sir. And you want to identify cops like they're some kind of gods, man. It's in the bill. Two classes of citizens. Wait, in the next bill, why don't you just identify yourself against the lawsuits? I know who the terrorists are, and you're one of them. You're a legislative terrorist.
You're a 2.5-year combat veteran of Iraq.
I don't care. Did you vote for the bill or not?
No!